semuanya, malam ini Johnny akan memasak sup yang namanya white chicken chili. Sup ini pas untuk orang Indonesia karena rasanya agak-agak pedas. Cara membuatnya juga lumayan mudah. Bahan-bahannya adalah ayam giling. Kita akan memakai 1 pound, di sini bukan 1 kilo ya, jadi ini 1 pound ayam giling, daun cilantro, 1 bawang bombay, 2 kaleng kacang putih yang namanya Great Northern Beans, kaldu ayam, mentega, lalu ini cabai-cabean, yang ukurannya sedang ini jalapeño pepper, sedangkan yang agak besar, namanya apa sayang? Poblano pepper. Lalu kita akan memakai, ini dulu ya, 3 siung bawang putih. Nah, bumbu-bumbunya, 1 sendok makan jinten, 1 sendok makan oregano, 1 atau 2 sendok teh merica yang warnanya hitam, ini 1 sendok teh merica yang warnanya putih, dan juga yang ini cabai kering. Sesukanya sih, kalau mau pedas ya bisa tambah banyak.
Hi, I'm Johnny, and I'm going to be cooking our white chicken chili this evening. And I'm going to first start out by processing and cutting up all of our vegetables, starting with the garlic.
Jadi ini kokinya ya, sudah mulai meracik-racik semua bumbunya. Tadi ini segala macam sayur-sayurannya sudah dicuci biar bersih. Ini lagi memotong garlic.
You can use 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, whatever your preference is. And I'm just gonna mince it pretty fine. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Antara kita berdua ini sebenarnya yang lebih jago masak suamiku. Kalau aku biasanya masak-masak Asia atau masak-masak Indonesia aja. Jadi itu tadi garlicnya udah dipotong kecil-kecil.
Now I'm gonna dice up our onion. I like to put a fine dice on the onion for this.
Sekarang bawang bombaynya dipotong-potong. Today was a cold, rainy day.
Here
Raining
in Atlanta,
non-stop.
kind of a miserable day.
Belum musim dingin, ini baru musim gugur, tapi udah dingin. So you're gonna use the whole onion?
I will use a whole medium onion.
Jadi ini bawang bombay akan dipakai semuanya ya. Ini tadi aku yang belanja grocery. Soalnya kan suami kerja. Nah, jadi pulang-pulang dia udah langsung bisa masak. Dapurnya berantakan seperti biasa. Nah, terus minggu depan itu udah Thanksgiving, jadinya kita harus mulai bersih-bersih. Karena kalau Thanksgiving itu biasanya keluarga kita makan-makan di sini. Nah, Johnny biasanya yang bagian masak-masak. I'm talking about Thanksgiving. We're preparing for Thanksgiving next week.
A week from this Thursday. So we'll be cooking a turkey, probably a ham. We will cook some dressing, which is made out of cornbread. We do usually squash casserole, green bean casserole, rolls, lots of desserts.
Pokoknya kalau Thanksgiving masaknya banyak banget. What I'm saying is that you guys usually cook a lot for Thanksgiving?
Usually, there's always a turkey. That's the main staple. Or kalkun.
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 Aku udah ajarin dia sedikit-sedikit bahasa Indonesia.
Aku memakan kalkun. Sometimes people serve ham, and we'll probably do a small ham.
Hamnya mungkin mama aku beli aja tahun ini, jadinya nggak terlalu repot.
Usually there's mashed potatoes or mashed or some form of sweet potato.
Udah ya, ini bawang bombaynya udah dipotong-potong semua. I'm letting them know that you already cut up all the onion. And now moving on to the poblano pepper.
Poblano. I'm gonna get rid of this.
Buang dulu. Tong sampahnya udah penuh.
I personally like to remove the seeds from the pepper. It just keeps the heat down. I don't particularly want it way too spicy.
Jadi dia nih bilang kalau masak dengan pepper ini dia akan buang bijinya, jadinya nggak terlalu pedes gitu rasanya.
So I'll cut up the poblano peppers first. And I'm just gonna dump these right here for now. And it's okay if a few seeds get in.
Poblano pepper itu nggak tahu di Indonesia apa ya.
Any green chili would work. I use poblano because they cook down well and they taste pretty good. But any significant green chili could work. Now I typically cut these into strips and then dice them.
Gini cara motongnya. Now, we're cooking a white chili soup today, but usually chili is red, right?
Well, there's red chili.
There's red chili and then there's white chili, but what we're making tonight is white chili.
Red chili usually put tomatoes and chili powder in it. Just a different style of chili.
But because I can't really eat tomatoes and anything that's sour or red, so we have decided to make the white version.
Now this chili is kind of a quick chili. We're gonna use ground chicken for this chili, but you don't have to use ground chicken. You can use chicken breasts, chicken thighs. You can cook those down by just boiling them and then shredding the meat and putting it back in. I'm using ground chicken today just because it cooks up a little faster, which is what I like to do on particularly a work night.
Jadi dia ini bilang, kita kan hari ini pakai ayamnya pakai ayam giling ya, tapi sebenarnya nggak usah pakai ayam giling, pakai ayam dada biasa juga bisa, asal dipotong kecil-kecil gitu. Tapi pakai ayam giling itu lebih praktis aja, karena kita di sini kan bisa beli ayam giling di grocery store ya, jadinya terus nggak usah repot-repot untuk motong-motong gitu.
Alright, so that's our poblanos.
Ya, poblano peppernya udah selesai dipotong-potong. Sekarang
Don't worry about the mess on the floor. I tend to make a lot of mess.
Ya, dia tuh yang bikin kotor, nanti aku yang bersihin. Ini sekarang jalapeno ya.
I'm using a whole jalapeno because my wife likes spice. I don't mind it so much, so.
Oh iya, terus biasa kalau motong pepper gini sebenarnya sih lebih baik pakai sarung tangan ya, jadinya tangannya rasanya nggak pedes ya. I tell them that usually you should use gloves when cutting peppers
Yeah, you don't want to touch any sensitive areas after cutting peppers.
Hati-hati.
Like your eyes. Or anywhere else on your body.
Tahu sendiri lah.
So what we're gonna do after I cut this up, I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter, approximately 2 tablespoons. I don't really measure a whole lot, so when you're cooking here, we just kind of, whatever feels right, but typically about 2 tablespoons of butter will be sufficient.
Jadi, dia itu bilang, kita akan memakai butter atau mentega itu untuk menggongso semuanya ini.
So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. So I put the pan on the oven. I've turned it to about a medium-high heat. I'm going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter.
Ini kita sekarang udah mulai mau menggongso. Memakai 2 sendok makan mentega. Ini sekarang sedang dilelehkan ya menteganya.
So as our butter melts, right after our butter melts, we'll put the vegetables in. And instead of butter, you can use an olive oil or another oil that you prefer. Butter, I find, just gives it a little better flavor. Here in the South, we say butter makes it better.
Jadi dia bilang mentega itu lebih gurih. Kenapa kok kita nggak memakai minyak biasa? Nah, sekarang semua sayurannya masuk ya di gongso ini sampai harum.
So we're just going to saute these peppers and onions and garlic in this butter until probably for about 4 to 5 minutes, just until they soften.
And smells good.
It smells really good. I'm gonna wash out our bowl.
Jadi digongsonya sekitar ya mungkin 4-5 menit gitu ya.
So our onions and peppers have been cooking down for about 3 minutes now, and you'll see that the onions have started to take on the color of the peppers, and everything's kind of turning green, and that's typical. So we'll let that cook for another minute or two, and I'm gonna take those out and put them into a bowl and set those aside while I cook the chicken.
Baunya sudah mulai harum nih. Jadi tinggal ya mungkin 1 menit lagi lah masaknya. Digongsonya ini. Did you run into bad traffic today?
It's always bad coming home, particularly when it's raining. And it's getting dark an hour earlier, so it even gets worse.
Jadi di sini tuh kalau udah musim gugur jamnya itu ganti gitu kan. Jadinya misalnya sekarang jam 8:30 ya. Itu udah gelap sejak jam 5, jam 5:30.
That's pretty good, so I'm going to take off the peppers and onions. We're just going to put them in a pan here. Now, I'll never get all of them out, and that's fine. Our chicken will just cook with them. Now, our chicken's a lean chicken, which is pretty typical, so there's not a lot of fat in it. And to be able to cook the chicken without really burning it, we need to put a little more oil or butter back in the pan. So I'll probably put another 2 tablespoons or so.
Ini ya, pakai mentega lagi untuk ayamnya sekarang. Jadi 2 sendok makan mentega untuk menggongso ayam sekarang.
Now I've turned the temperature down on the oven a couple of degrees, So as that cooks up, I'm just gonna put our chicken in here. And we're just gonna brown this up.
Ini tadi apinya dikecilin ya untuk memasak ayam ini.
Now the little brown bits on the bottom of the pan will form from the chicken, and we'll scrape that back up once we put in the chicken broth. And there's no magic here, we're just really browning the chicken. I like to cook it through. It will continue to cook while the chili cooks and boils, but just prefer cooking the chicken here.
Jadi ini ayamnya dimasak sampai kecoklat-coklatan gitu. Pokoknya asal udah nggak mentah lagi ya. Ini kita biasa masak sekitar ya 2 kali seminggu lah gitu. Biasanya sih kalau masak hari Minggu malam, tapi karena minggu kemarin kita weekend kemarin ini keluar kota nggak ada waktu, jadinya baru hari ini masaknya hari Senin. I was saying that usually we cook more like Sunday night, but because we went out of town, so we just started cooking right now on Monday night.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to cook during the week with work and just schedule.
And Lana is pretty late too, 8:30 something. Udah lat jam 8:30-an. Masih masak, belum makan.
So I've cooked our chicken down and browned it. I've drained it because it'll produce a little water and liquid from the chicken. So now I'm going to put our peppers and onions back into our bowl, or into our pan actually.
Jadi dia bilang tadi itu pas sesudah masak ayamnya,
I'm gonna give that a good stir.
Minyak dan lemak-lemaknya itu dia buang dulu
Now,
sebelum sayur-sayurannya dimasukin lagi.
Now I'm gonna put in all of our seasoning, so every bit of it just goes in the pot.
Sekarang bumbu-bumbunya dimasukin semuanya.
And then we'll give that a good stir.
Diaduk-aduk sampai rata.
It's very fragrant with the cumin.
Harum baunya karena tadi ada bumbu kumin itu atau yang namanya jinten.
Now I'm gonna pour in the whole box of chicken broth.
Sekarang kaldu ayamnya dimasukin semua, 1 kardus.
I'm gonna scrape the bottom, trying to get all of that fond off the bottom of the pan.
Kita di sini sebisa mungkin memakai produk-produk yang organik. Kalau ketemu ya, kalau ada.
Now if you want a little more liquid in your soup, which we may need just a bit more because this will cook off some while it's cooking. I usually just fill up the box with a little bit more water.
Jadi tadi pakai kaldu itu kuahnya belum tentu cukup ya, jadinya akan dia tambah air. Dan ditambah airnya itu
It's about a half a box more.
sekitar setengah kardus kaldu ayam tadi itu. Ditambahnya segitu.
And that's it. So what we'll do is we'll bring this to a boil.
Is it finished pretty much?
It's not finished. The longer you cook it, the better the flavor develops. You can cook it, I like to cook it for about 45 minutes to an hour. But everything in here is cooked. So what I'll do is probably cook this for about 45 minutes. We will go ahead right now. I think I said earlier to add this later, but you can do it whenever. I usually add the cilantro, it adds flavor. I leave the stems on because that also adds a little flavor to the soup. But you don't want to put your beans in if you're planning to cook for a long period of time because the beans will cook down to mush. So I'll probably wait about 45 minutes. I'll put the 2 cans of beans in and we'll probably cook it another 30 minutes or so.
Jadinya tadi itu sesudah kaldu ayamnya dimasukin, itu sebenarnya sudah hampir jadi sih. Cuman yang belum dimasukin itu kacang. Karena kalau kacangnya itu dimasak terlalu lama, nanti jadi terlalu soft gitu.
And I don't know if I said, but we will bring this to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, I like to turn the temperature down to a low and just let it simmer for a while.
So right now what you're doing is just cooking all of this for about 45 minutes.
Right. You want to develop the flavor within the soup. So you want all that flavor to get good and happy.
Jadi sekarang ini supnya dimasak untuk sekitar 45 menit. And then after those 45 minutes, you're gonna put in the beans.
That's correct.
Terus sesudah 45 menit nanti kacangnya baru dimasukin ya. Ini yang mengambang-ngambang di atas itu daun cilantro. Udah gitu aja, sekarang tinggal ditunggu.
So our soup is now boiling. It's been on for about 5-6 minutes or so. I'm gonna reduce the temperature down to low, maybe somewhere around there. I'm gonna put a lid on it. I'm gonna let that simmer, and we'll put our timer on for 45 minutes.
Jadi ini supnya udah mulai mendidih. Karena udah mulai mendidih, terus apinya dikecilin. Habis itu pancinya ditutup. Terus kita masih nunggu lagi ya, sekitar 40 menit lagi gitu.
It's been approximately 45 minutes, so we're gonna put our beans in. Our stew is still at a low temperature. I'm gonna dump my beans in here. We're gonna give them a good stir. And we're going to put our lid back on and let them cook for about another 30 minutes.
Jadi ini step yang terakhir ya, kita masukkan kacangnya tadi. Sesudah itu akan kita masak berapa lama lagi? How many more minutes?
30
menit lagi.
30.
Udah aku ajarin bagaimana cara menghitung bahasa Indonesia.
Okay, we've been well over 30 minutes. I've actually, at the 30-minute mark, I added a little salt because it wasn't very salty. I gave it a taste. I felt the beans were a little firm, so we cooked it another 10-15 minutes or so. So total cook time with the beans was about 45 minutes. So we've cooked this a total of hour and a half. I'm gonna give it another taste.
Jadi tadi itu karena rasanya agak hambar, kita tambahin sedikit garam ya. Jadi terserah sih, kalau mau tanpa garam bisa, pakai garam juga boleh. Jadi dicobain aja sendiri. Terus waktu total memasaknya itu sekitar 1,5 jam.
So, tastes pretty good. It's a bit spicy, which is good on a cold night. So we're gonna put a little in a bowl. And there you go. White chicken chili.
Sekarang udah jadi. Buat kalian semuanya yang mau mencoba membuat sup ini, resepnya akan kita cantumkan di bagian deskripsi video ini. Jangan lupa untuk menonton video-video kita lainnya yang sudah kita upload. Sampai ketemu lagi.